welcome to the presentation on new literatures in English. In this presentation, we are going to see two major works, that is a Nigerian writer Olu Soyinka's The Lion and the Jewel. Let's begin with the presentation. Introduction of Olu Soyinka. So who is this Olu Soyinka? So he is a Nigerian contemporary writer. So he is a Nobel Prize awardee. So he is a playwright, poet, novelist, as well as he is known to the world as a political activist also. So he received the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1986. So he has published hundreds of works all around the world, which was very famous, and mostly he had that a very rare combination of combining the Yoruba mythology with the European traditions existing then. So that shows his greatness. So none of the college literary books are incomplete, so are complete without his inclusions like drama, novels, essay, poetry, and all the collections will definitely have a piece from this great writer Olu Soyinka. Coming to the play, he has written very many, he is a prolific writer who has spent so many genres, mainly The Lion and the Jewel. So The Lion and the Jewel. Other one you see Interpreters. That is a very famous work of Olu Soyinka, followed by Death and the King's Horseman. So that is also has fetched in popularity around the world. In this play, that is The Lion and the Jewel, the titular. So who is the lion and who is the jewel we are going to see. It's a celebrated play in English literature. So Lion and the Jewel, the theme is tradition and modernity. It is set in a place called Ilijinle, which is placed in Yoruba place. So the traditional values of Yoruba is highlighted in the form of play that he has written here. So introducing the players. So there is a village called Ilijinle in which we have these characters who are going to play a major role in the play. So Ilijinle is a Yoruba village where ancient customs clash with burgeoning Western influence caught in between two worlds. So then the jewel, the titular jewel stands for Siddhi, a young beautiful village belle. So the object of desire and the catalyst for the conflict that exists in the play to follow. Then the lion, who is none other than the Baraka, the ancient, and he is the head of the village, and he is called the Bey, village chief. So who values his authority and cultural heritage. Then you have a modernizer who stands for the British colonial representative here, none other than our Lakunle. So Lakunle is a young Western educated teacher, so who tries to bind the tradition as well as the Western values together. Apart from this, you do have minor characters, namely Sadiku. So she is the senior most wife of the village Bey, and you have a stranger, so who brings about the change in the village through the photographs that he is producing in the form of magazine of Siddhi as well as this lion. So the play is divided into three sections: the morning, the incidents that are happening in the morning, the afternoon, and by the night time. So in the opening, you find the clash between Lakunle and Siddhi. So Siddhi fetches water in a pail and she carries it upon the shoulder. Looking at this, Lakunle, the teacher of the village, is commenting, no, it should not happen, it will crush your neck so that the beauty of yours will be spoiled. Also, he is commenting upon the dressing sense of Siddhi to be more modest and should not be exposed so that it will give way for others to criticize you. So she ignores the comment and she says that more than the comment that people are giving about you, that is, you are a mad person. So he is a very educated person. His thoughts, his ideologies, his strategies, village people are not able to understand. So in that point of view, they consider him to be a fool. So compared to the comments they give you, this is nothing for me, and I don't mind the comments passed about me. And yesterday only you told me that nothing about the beauty, but still I am in love with you. But how can you say now your neck will be crushed and thereby your appearance will be spoiled? So this shows that your love is a fake one. So as the conversation goes, So between these two, Lakunle as well as this Siddhi, so children interfere there. All the children are coming and they are making noise, stating that the stranger, that is a photographer who took photos the other day of Siddhi, has published it in the form of magazine. And Siddhi looks so very beautiful, and in all amidst the greenery, and the highlight is in the title page, Siddhi has been published. So that shows the greatness and the beauty of Siddhi, which is unidentified in the village, and only the photographer is able to identify it. So Siddhi was very exhilarated, but she is yet to see the photographs. So now she wants to enact a skit upon the incident, what happened the other day. So she is allotting roles for everyone. So Lakunle refuses to play the role of photographer, but he is persuaded by Siddhi to play the same. So all the children stand in four corners depicting the car, and he is traveling in that, and they are dancing and they are reliving the experience how the other day Siddhi was taken photos by this photographer. After, at the end of this skit, so there enters Baroka. Immediately see how that village veil is keeping the people under control. All of them kneel down, and Lakunle wants to escape from that situation, and he was called by Baroka and tells him to continue with the same. So at times he needs to have such kind of entertainment, he needs to say. So Baroka comes to know that in that magazine he has been given only a minor portion, though he is the village veil. So somewhere in the corner of the page, so he has been given a photo next to the latrin of that village, so which is a very insulting thing to him. And at that time he is captivated by the beauty of Siddhi. So and he wants to take her as a wife, and he utters a statement which states that it's since 5 months that I have taken a new wife. See how frequently he goes for a wife. So no one is there to check, because he's a powerful man, influential, wealthy, and everything is under his control. So he says since 5 months that I have gone for a new wife. So uttering the statement, it is the same. And with which the morning scene comes to an end. Siddhi along with all the other children, curiously they go in search of the photographer, where she wants to see her photo for herself. So beauty and the teacher, a clash of worlds, so is depicted in the morning scene. The afternoon scene shifts to the Lions Road, so Baroka's house, so where Sadiku is there, the senior most wife. So the only work for her to fetch beautiful young women for this Baroka. Okay, she will come and be a kind of an ambassador, bringing in new wives for him. So whomever he falls an eye to. So the recent one, the most favorite wife is doing service to him. So at that time he says, I just want to marry this girl Siddhi. Immediately she carries the news to Siddhi. Siddhi insults Sadiku, saying that he has become too old. On seeing the photographs only, he wants to marry me, attracted by my beauty. But in no way he can come near to me. He is too old to marry me. So the same one is communicated to Baroka now by Sadiku. So Baroka says he is just devising a plan. He knows the weakness of women. They cannot hold anything in their heart. So immediately he prepares a plan according to which feigning impotency. Actually, he is not impotent. He is giving a news to Sadiku, knowing for sure that she will communicate that to Siddhi. So, feigning impotence, that he has become too old. He cannot, though he is going to marry, he cannot indulge in any kind of relationship with a new wife. So, Sadiku takes it as one happy news. How many young women's life he has spoiled. Now, this is the time to celebrate the moment. She goes and confers this to this Siddhi. So, Siddhi and Sadiku, in the presence of Lakunle, by the statue of Baroka in the center of the village, they celebrate, they rejoice at the news conveyed by him. But Lakunle alone is very, very suspicious. He says no, he is setting a trap. I don't think this can be true. So he is set aside. He is ignored by these two ladies. And now he is inviting her to come and dine with him that particular night. Who? Baroka is inviting Siddhi. This news is carried by Sadiku. So first she hesitated. Now that is damn sure that he has become impotent, she wants to go and join him. She says, I will go and make fun about him. Okay, so first about the photographs, second one about his strength. So with this plan she goes there. So these are the incidents that happen in the afternoon scene. So the deception of Baroka's cunning is revealed. Baroka set a trap in which Siddhi is going to be trapped, and that is revealed in that afternoon scene. So now the jewels fade and a double-edged sword. So by the night time and the scene shifts there, so what happens? So Baroka is waiting, he is preparing a plot over there as if to deceive this Siddhi. He is fighting with the wrestler. So just to show his muscle power. At that time Siddhi enters, he just ignores her. Siddhi complains that no one in the inmate is welcoming her. So he gives an excuse that people are away for a holiday. They also have unions and now they are requesting one holiday in a week, all the inmates of the servants of the house. And Siddhi, now she is opening up that insulting him with this impotency. So now slowly he is setting a trap and he is trying to entice the weakness of Siddhi. Thereby she falls a prey to him. Alas, that's all. She loses her virginity and she cries now. She runs out of Baroka. That lion at last won the jewel. The title is justified here. So now Siddhi is helpless. She comes to the same place still where Lakunle and Sadiku are waiting. Sadiku is damn sure that Baroka cannot do any harm to her. Whereas Lakunle is able to see through the plan of Baroka. He says, I will go and rescue her. So at this time, she comes crying. So innocently Lakunle is asking, was she beaten? So she said, I lost my virginity. So he has set a trap. He has given a false information that he has become impotent, whereas he is not, and he has abducted her. So this is what has happened. So after that also he was ready to marry her, but Siddhi was not so. Immediately she dresses herself as a bride. She goes inside, wipes off her tears, changes her clothes, gets ready as a bride, and she is coming out and she is falling at the feet of Sadiku, gets the blessings of her. And when Lakunle feels so soon a wedding can be performed, thinking that she is going to marry to him, she says, not to you but to Baroka. I am going to get married to Baroka and begin a new life. That will be proper for me. So this is happening in the night. That is the climax and the choice, the initial turn, the unexpected turn, and the final decision taken by Siddhi. Everything is arranged in this. So in this play, we see the theme of culture, identity, and power as the themes. So tradition versus modernity. So in the words of Lakunle, so when he confesses it to both Siddhi and Sadiku, he says that don't trust this Baroka. Why? Because all the developments that Yoruba village should experience, he is stopping it. For example, one railway officer came, he was investigating the land and everything. He was trying to put the railroad, but he stopped him. So he bribed him and forced him to go away. So he is not allowing any kind of improvements for the village people to have. So he just wants to hold the position for himself. So that kind of a thing. Traditions versus modernity. So Siddhi is asking for the bride price. So what is bride price? Any virgin woman will demand bride price from the man. Okay, that shows that she is virgin. So when a man pays a bride price to a woman, so it's something very superior for her. It's a very pride moment for her. Whereas he says no, this is one stupid ideology demanding bride price. So you are not a property to be purchased. So I will not pay you bride price. So the values of tradition and modernity is discussed here. The corrupted African culture. So through this loss of authenticated cultural identity, bride price, all these instances shows the corrupted African culture that they are yet to develop, they are yet to know one with the world, developing world. Siddhi's journey highlights the limited choices available for women. Either she has to be confined with the Baroka strap, or she has to get married to Lakunle. Otherwise, she doesn't have any other choice. So how women are exploited by men. So the female agency Siddhi highlights this. So this is one timeless masterpiece. Lion and Jewel is a timeless masterpiece, a comic yet profound commentary on post-colonial African society. It just highlights. So it's a testament of old Soyinka's master use of language, humor, and cultural insights. Not only that, it's a timeless exploration of human pride, desires, and enduring power of tradition. So it lasts the test of time forever. So followed by, we are going to see Derek Walcott's A Far Cry from Africa. So this is just a very moving poem written by the celebrated writer Derek Walcott. So he was born in St. Lucia. He was a poet and he was a playwright and he was a Nobel laureate in the year 1992, received Nobel Prize for Literature. He is known for exploring Caribbean identity, complexities existing in Caribbean identity and colonial history, cultural hybridization. So the epic Omeros is a very famous work, and In a Green Night, so it's also a very famous work from which this poem is pulled out. So the poem is based on one revolt, that is Mau Mau uprising in Kenya. So during the year 1952 to 60, there existed one revolt, that is the native Kenyans rose against the Britishers who were colonizing them, and they showed their opposition. So in which 13,000 people were protesters were killed mercilessly by the Britishers. So this, based on this incident only, Derek Walcott has penned this poem. So Derek Walcott has twin parentage. So he has a root in Africa as well as in Europe. So together made him, a conflict is there. He's a diasporic writer. So he's not able to decide which side he should angle. So conflict of identity, brutality of colonialism and resistance, and critique of human nature. All the three are highlighted here. So in this, the vast stretch of Africa, the poem is divided into three parts. Okay, the first part, African land, vast stretch of land is described, how the wind is blowing, what is the color of the sand, how the birds are flying, everything. It's a land of fertile, and it's a very fertile land where all the resources are abundant and plenty. But such a land is exploited by the British colonists, and they have become a prey to it. After describing the land, he says that in that land, okay, now how people are there, all the people, everywhere the land, the greenery, everything is gone. So it has been corrupted by the blood stains of people. People are dead and the blood stains are there found in the soil. So what can be said right about that? So a worm, for example, in one of the lines it states that a worm is compared to a captain. Captain Worm says that no botheration about the dead souls. So they are dead, that's all. So if you protest, you will be killed like this mercilessly. So likewise, it is given there. So second part of the poem, okay, it highlights the animals, bees, birds, and all such creatures of Africa. And a comparison is drawn by Derek Walcott, like only in the animal kingdom you have survival of the fittest. An animal kills another animal just to survive, but we, that is human beings, are created in the image of God. So we have some divine quality in us, but what we are doing mercilessly to others, so it's not at all proper. So that is very brutal in nature. So he says so. So the third stanza, once again, he is recollecting what all the atrocities committed by the Britishers to the Kenyan colonists, and in what way it can be justified. So one symbolic representation, he says that, so how can you wipe the dirt with a dirty napkin? Already your napkin is very dirty. How can you wipe the dirt? So your hands are stained with blood. You cannot remove that, okay, by the little things that you are doing to the colonized country. So you can't do that. So now on one hand, so what the existing protestation is going on, okay, merciless killing is going on, all these things fall as a cry, okay, far cry from Africa. Now that he is placed in another land, so these things comes and reaches him. So he don't know whether to support African root or to be happy with the existing one. He says, I love, okay, that is the writing profession. He has become a writer. He has learned the language in the land where he has settled, and he is torn between the two forces of his native and the language and the culture where he has settled. So which one to support? I am poisoned by the blood of both, is the quoted line there. I am poisoned by the blood of blood of goat. So he doesn't know how to justify. So whether to support Africa or to support the Britishers, is torn between two. And he says that, and he feels sorry for the people who are dead, and he feels sorry for the Britishers who have at the cost of these people. So Paradise Lost, Indifferent Death, everything, all other themes are summarized in this Derek Walcott's poem. So through this presentation, so we have seen two wonderful works, that is The Lion and the Jewel. So how Ole Soyinka tries to entrap, what is the condition of women, in a Yoruba village. However we speak of women's empowerment, this and that, still, even now, the condition of a woman is still pathetic only. So she has to compromise with what she has, and she becomes a prey to the man's lust. So through Walcott's poem, so we saw the themes of two different countries, and he is torn between the two. Thank you.